Trump supporters target black voters with bigoted radio ads. Here's my question. Would you all say that the Democrat media also targets black people with bigoted ads and nonsense? We're going to get into some of it. Both the Democrats and the Republicans target black people with stereotypical nonsense that adds no value to why we should place a vote with either candidate. I appreciate you, Janesta. So let's see what they're talking about. Trump supporters target black voters with bigoted radio ads. This is interesting, right? Donald Trump and his allies are trying to appeal to black voters with overpriced sneakers, fried chicken, past their prime rappers, and now some plain old bigotry to boot. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What is the difference between that and the Democratic Party? Here's one thing about the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party encourages misandry towards black men and literally makes no effort to appeal to the needs of black men, which we should understand is the normal status quo anyway, because both parties are part of the uniparty, which is called WS. So it's funny how the Democrats are outraged about this, right? They're literally outraged about this while Hillary Clinton went on the Breakfast Club with a bottle of Red Hot, and that's supposed to be the reason why people would vote for her. You know what I'm saying? Bill Clinton went on Arsenio Hall playing the saxophone, and that's the reason why people are supposed to vote for him. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Spider. Make sure y'all show Black Spider some love for standing on business.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Standing on business.
Silence. Silence. I ain't got no money, pa.
Shout out to Black Spider. Make sure y'all show her some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah, so we got to figure this out. These people are supposedly doing so much. What exactly are they doing? How many people heard about the millions of dollars that Joe Biden decided to give to Samsung in Texas? Let me ask you guys this question. Who's benefiting from that? Who's benefiting from that? Billions of dollars. Shout out to Janessa. Janessa said, I ain't gonna lie, I do like that saxophone now. I ain't gonna lie, I do like that saxophone now. I ain't mad at it, man. I ain't mad at it. So now here it says, in recent months, Trump allied groups. Now here's the thing, right? This is what I want y'all to do. In the comment section and people watching the video on the replay, everything that they're complaining about in this article, name me something that Democrats have done that mirrors this. I mean, this is literally coming from the party that created no voting, no vucking. And they outraged about some fried chicken. They outraged about some fried chicken? For real? You see what I'm saying? Past their prime rappers? Seriously? Almost all the Democrat shill rappers are past their prime. You know what I'm saying? Puffy is a Democrat shill. He's past his prime. Jay-Z, Democrat shill, past his prime. I mean, are we serious here? You could even go as far as to say Cardi B, possibly past her prime. Shout out to Deneen. What's good with it, Deneen? Yeah, told us get our butts to the poll, right? Vax that ass up. What else did they say? But now it's not fair game that the Republicans are using the same playbook. If you ask me, this is enough for people to say we shouldn't be dealing with either one of these parties. Either one of these parties. Because again, what disparities do any of these type of campaigns address? How is any of this stuff going to improve anybody going into 2025? That's the question. See, that's got to be the question all the time. Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Deneen. If you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black. You know what I'm saying? as if as if he's qualified to make that determination.
You ain't black.
Yeah. So again, these are the very people that sit there and say that we're race obsessed when you literally got a old white man sitting there trying to qualify people on their blackness based on whether he gets voted for or not. Yeah, Shorty, Plies always cooling for Joe Biden. Shorty, y'all don't vote for Biden. I don't know what's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Plies sitting there sounding like the biggest beta male in the world. Shorty, I don't know why you wouldn't vote for Biden. I mean, seriously, you gonna vote for Trump out there?
Idiots! I'm surrounded by incompetent idiots! I've got morons on my team!
Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. In recent months, Trump allied groups have begun running radio ads targeting voters in largely black areas that push a raft of offensive claims as they seek to undermine support for President Joe Biden. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What has President Joe Biden done that has been largely offensive towards black people? That's my question. I mean, the comment section should go crazy. We've been watching and making these videos forever. Shout out to DeAndre. Shawty, you like my Plies impression, Shawty? I'm glad you like my Plies impression, but you don't really like Plies unless you vote blue no matter who, Shawty. Y'all don't like Plies unless you get your butt to the poll and vote blue. Y'all heard? An idiot. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to go see him advocate for some politics? An idiot. You know what I'm saying?
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Thank you, Brother Dotson. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Brother Dotson had to sing it to make sure it sunk in. You know what I'm saying? You are so dumb. Now look at this. These ads were highlighted by sports journalist Jemele Hill over the weekend. Why? Again, do you all notice who are the political pundits of any credibility that any of these quote unquote news outlets ever quote? There's a reason why they don't quote any influential quote unquote political pundits. Why is that? See, we got to ask that question because that's an important question to ask. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. And I appreciate y'all. If you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and share the stream to your social media. All right. We got 37 people watching and we got 32 likes. Let's try to get the likes to 50. So here's my question. What's everybody's feelings about Jemele Hill? You guys love Jemele Hill, right? She's everybody's favorite, right? She be speaking that truth. She be speaking that truth, don't she? These ads were highlighted by sports journalist Jemele Hill. Now, let me ask you guys this. Who, when it comes to other people in the mainstream media, who outside of politics do they get to be the expert on political matters? That's the question. That's the question. Who do they get? Who do they get? Now, here's the thing, right? We got to ask this question. And the reason why we got to ask this question is because it shows the way that the mainstream media, it clearly has an agenda to treat us in a very different way than they treat other people. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Because again, the mainstream media does not do this for other groups of people, which tells you something about the campaign in place with dealing with us. Okay? These ads were highlighted by sports journalist Jemele Hill over the weekend during her coverage of the NFL draft in Detroit. If people don't know if people have heard these ads Trump campaign is running on urban radio, but they are Wild Hill Road, as in wildly filled with massive misinformation sprinkled in with some bigotry. Now, again, literally the same as the Democrats, right? Literally the exact same as the Democrats. So now any information coming from any party should be called out. But what Jamel Hill is most upset about is she's upset that the Republicans had the nerve to use the same strategy that the Democrats are using. So that tells you whose payroll she's on. Hill didn't share an example, but a similar sounding ad called Our Communities was launched by the pro-Trump organization MAGA Inc. in March and scheduled for airtime in Georgia, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. The ad is a chock full of MAGA misinformation. In it, a narrator claims that Biden is, quote unquote, letting Mexican cartels pump drugs and fentanyl into our streets. Let me ask you guys a question. Is that misinformation? Let's stop right there. Is that misinformation? It's arguable that that's a point of debate. Would you guys agree? Shout out to Deneen. Yeah, I gotta agree. And shout out to Janesta. Both parties are insane. Facts. Deneen says, I want to hear J-Lo speak for Latino voters. I want to hear her make music for Latino people. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear her make some Latino music for Latino people. You know what I'm saying? The ad is chock full of MAGA misinformation. In it, a narrator claims that Biden is, quote unquote, letting Mexican cartels pump drugs and fentanyl in our streets, that he's busing, quote unquote, rapists and murderers into our communities, and that the crooks in Congress are handing our tax dollars to illegals. Again, let's just get the consensus out. Is that actual misinformation? If that's misinformation, give me a thumbs up. If that's not misinformation, then give me a thumbs down. I think that we about to see a lot of thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to choose where to start with the corrections. I don't know if you can start with corrections, but let's check this out. Trump, look at this. Now, again, this is the Democrat media. Trump has promoted racist generalizations of Mexican immigrants as drug dealers, deleters, and rapists from the moment he publicly launched his first campaign bid in 2015. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Is that true? And again, how did Joe Biden pass the 94 crime bill? Shout out to Mike Mellis John. What's good with it? So let me ask you all this. Is another form of misinformation attempting to point out the negatives of one side while being silent on the other side doing the same thing? Is that another form of misinformation? Despite data shows immigrants tend to commit crimes at lower rates than U.S. born citizens. Now, let me ask you guys this. Would that possibly be because, as was stated by Mayor Eric Adams himself, in a lot of sanctuary cities, they don't record migrant crime? So there's no data. There's no data to back it up. So if you're comparing nothing to data that's kept on U.S. citizens, that's clearly going to show U.S. citizens committing more crimes. Right? There's certainly no evidence the Biden administration is letting cartels pump drugs into the American streets, other than the fact that if you look at how certain immigrants are treated for other crimes and they just get put back into the street, then how do they get treated for this when it's found out? Right? And also, if we have these policies that are very lenient on letting people into the border, that means that they're very lenient on letting people into the border with whatever cargo they're bringing over as well, right? So again, where can we go to get an honest conversation about any of this stuff? But they're sitting here calling this misinformation. Now, when it comes to any of this information at all, both parties are going to twist the story to make things seem like a rationale to support either party. Would you guys agree? Right. Shout out to Mike Mellis John. Facts. Mike Mellis John says, of course they're low. They're barely reported. Facts. If you guys agree with Mike, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. That's exactly what I was saying. That's facts. In fact, there's ample evidence to the contrary, and despite zero-sum rhetoric about immigrants receiving jobs, privileges, and welfare benefits over American citizens, these claims keep being proven false. Where are they being proven false at? Where are these things being proven false at? Let me ask you guys this question. Where are these things even talked about? Who even takes a deep dive into these things? Where have you all seen these things be dived into, looked at, examined under a fine-tooth comb? Nobody does it. And honestly, nobody doesn't really seem like too many people care either. You know what I'm saying? The ad also pushed anti-trans bigotry, underscoring a phenomenon I've highlighted in the past. Trump and his minions are trying to spread their anti-trans agenda through black communities. How do you guys feel about that? So the idea is just that black people are quote unquote pro-trans. What does pro-trans even look like or sound like? What are we talking about here? Now, let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to these kind of discussions, what news organization, Fox or CNN, has brought legitimate black pundits on camera or on a news stream, a news segment, to actually discuss these things? You saw The Hill, they bring on Sabby Sabs all the time. You know what I'm saying? I just saw a reaction video to Fox News. They brought on a content creator that is part of the Geeks and Gamers network called Nerdrotic, right? But when do any of these organizations ever bring anybody who represents us on their shows? They don't. And the reason why is because they're not supposed to. They're never supposed to have an authentic black opinion or black voice, which is one of the reasons why we have to grow our platforms larger than theirs so that we can out-talk them and repeat our message to more people. And then once we become that big of a threat, and then they want to start having conversation with us, we deny them access. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. People can sit there, you know what I'm saying, and act like this stuff that I'm saying isn't true or isn't legit. But if it's not true or it isn't legit, then why is it that we've been dealing with the same problems for forever? How long have we been dealing with the same problems? The reason why is because it's easy to scramble communications if you have people that don't actually represent the interests of people go on TV and take up time on a segment and give the public perception of a false narrative. So if you ask me, anytime, and I gotta agree, shout out to P. Burley. P. Burley says Sabby Sabs is mainly focused on Palestine, not her fellow black Americans. Facts. If you guys agree with P. Burley, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Big facts. And here's my thing, right? It's nothing wrong. There is something ideologically wrong, if you ask me. But again, this is America. It's a free country, so she's free to do that, right? However, it's a problem when her politics lead her to do that, and then she gets on the Hill and is acting like she's the black outreach person. You're not the black outreach person. You're a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? Which again, as long as you're honest about that, that's fine. But that's what you should be talking about. Don't go on the Hill and try to talk to the Hill about what black people are doing when you're all about Palestine more so. You're not part of the grassroots. Yeah, she had Yvette Carnell on there yesterday. yesterday. I saw that she had she had Yvette Carnell on there. You know what I'm saying? Now, my thing is that she should offer more of a platform to people like Yvette Carnell. She should have Tariq on there. She should have TBA on there. You know what I'm saying? Like actual Black Roots pundits. She should have TD on there. Shit. TD getting close to 100,000 subs. You know what I'm saying? She need to have him on there. But what you guys will see is that these kind of people will make an effort to block people out. They try to block people out. Now that's actually doing outreach. Have Philip Scott on there. I always forget about Philip Scott. You know what I'm saying? Have him on there. Torian. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's my question. Why do you all think that they avoid people like that? Can you guys tell there's a concerted effort to avoid people like that? Why is there a concerted effort to avoid people like that? You know, it's wild when it comes to like the conservative space, wannabe conservatives and grifters, even liberals and Democrats. You know, a lot of those people, they attack people like us for no reason. I mean, what you sitting up there attacking us for? You know what I'm saying? When they talk about disinformation and misinformation, they're talking about channels like mine. This is disinformation. Are you serious? Show me some There's people in here that's been watching me for a very long time. Where's some disinformation at on my channel? Show me. When it comes to any topic that I talk about, crypto, red pill critique, politics, where's some disinformation and some misinformation at? Immigration, where? What have I said that's been blatantly false? Where people have said, yeah, Rob is just lying about this. Where's it at? Where's it at? These political pundits will sit there and say that people are coming with misinformation and disinformation simply because we have a YouTube channel and we don't work for a network, yet they'll never show anything that is misinformation or disinformation that's come from our channels. What is the misinformation? What is the disinformation? You know what I'm saying? Somebody make it make sense. And this is why I say, you know, if I ever get big enough to where one of these, organizations will notice me, if they call my platform misinformation, we're suing them. You know what I'm saying? We're suing them. We're gonna drag them through the mud until they drown. Theoretically. YouTube manual reviewer. Shout out to Moxie approved. You know what I'm saying? The narrator claims Trump will protect our daughters' sports teams from men competing against women and stop the sexualization of children. I think that this is something that people are validly concerned about. Would you guys agree? I think that a lot of people are concerned about a lot of this stuff going on with the ability of children to make their own decisions about these life-changing surgeries without the consent of their parents. How many people are parents? How many people would be thrilled if their daughter, who is 6 years old, came home with a beard? I would. You know, I would. I'd be extremely concerned about that. You know what I'm saying? Experts who oversee women's sports have said trans people's involvement doesn't rank anywhere near the industry's top issues. And let's just say that Trump is an unusual choice when making the case against sexualizing children. The ad is an obvious attempt to indoctrinate Black voters with a MAGA worldview, but it was so packed with bigoted propaganda, it felt like it needed a disclaimer at the end, like a prescription drug ad. Perhaps a fast-talking narrator at the end could note that side effects of electing Trump include attacks on Black election workers, installation of judges who've gutted Black voting rights. And again, what is this? Gutted Black voting rights. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you all have been turned away from voting? Shout out to John Guillory. John Guillory said, I would. I would.
Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
Swallowing, goggling.
I would. Oh, man. That's hilarious. Got him. Got him. Oh man. Oh man, that's hilarious, man. Look at this. Accusations against largely black cities of election fraud, vows to shield police accused of violent misconduct. Now, this is one thing that's true, right? Trump believes that police officers should literally be immune to any type of punishment, even if they do something wrong. We all know that this is true. If you guys didn't see, check out the stream that Moxie Approved did last night. You know what I'm saying? Open association with neo-Nazis and white supremacists and a full-on attack on black history in schools and routine public attacks on black women. So, you know, again, what's interesting about this is that all of this is stuff that the Democrats have done as well. Let me ask you guys this question. Would you all call the 94 crack bill? Shout out to Moxie for being in here, by the way. What's good with it, bro? Would you all call the 94 crack bill an assault on black men? If you guys would, give me a thumbs up. If you guys wouldn't, give me a thumbs down.